You've been doing everything right. Tracking every calorie, sweating through workouts, saying no to the cookies your coworker brought in. But the scale, still stuck. Maybe it even went up. And you're sitting there thinking, am I just broken? Here's the truth nobody wants to tell you. It's not about willpower. It's not even about calories. Your hormones are having a full-on group chat behind your back, and they're all saying different things. Insulin's screaming store everything. Cortisol's panicking like it's the apocalypse. Leptin, the one that's supposed to tell you you're full, stopped showing up to work entirely. And ghrelin, your hunger hormone, is blaring like a car alarm that won't shut off. What's happening isn't failure. It's a communication breakdown. Your body thinks it's protecting you, but it's actually holding you hostage. Once you understand which hormones are fighting you and how to get them back on your side, weight loss stops feeling impossible. It becomes automatic. So let's find out from the inside what happens when your hormonal system goes rogue and how to fix it without starving yourself or living at the gym. Picture your body as a company, and hormones are the management team. But right now, they're not talking to each other. They're sending contradictory emails, ignoring meetings, and making decisions that directly sabotage the others. Meet the cast. Insulin, the overzealous warehouse manager, supposed to store just enough energy. But now it's hoarding everything like the world's ending. Every time you eat, it shows up with a forklift saying, into storage, all of it. Your cells are like, dude, we're full, but insulin doesn't care. It keeps shoving energy into fat cells, whether you need it or not. Then there's leptin, your fullness alarm. Should be telling your brain we're good, stop eating. But it's been sending so many alerts for so long that your brain put it on mute. Now it's just screaming into the void while you polish off an entire bag of chips and still feel hungry. Ghrelin is the hunger siren. Should only go off when you actually need food. Instead, it's blaring 24/7 like a car alarm in a parking lot. You just ate lunch an hour ago, but your stomach's already growling. Cortisol, your paranoid security guard, thinks every deadline, bad night's sleep, and Instagram scroll is a life-threatening emergency. So it tells your body to hold on to every calorie just in case civilization collapses. And your thyroid, the metabolic thermostat, should be cranking the heat, burning fuel fast, but it's been slowly dialing itself down to save energy. Like your body's stuck in permanent eco mode while you're desperately trying to burn. Right now, this team isn't coordinating. They're competing. Insulin's storing while leptin's ignored. Cortisol's hoarding while ghrelin's demanding more. Your thyroid's trying to conserve power while you're begging it to burn. The result? Your body's running a program that makes weight loss biologically impossible. So how did your hormones go from a well-oiled team to a dysfunctional mess? Let's rewind and see where the breakdown started. Here's what actually happens when everything's working right. You eat, insulin rises to store energy. Leptin tells your brain you're satisfied. Ghrelin shuts up. Cortisol stays low. Thyroid keeps metabolism humming. It's a symphony. Everyone plays their part, and weight management feels effortless. But modern life is basically a stress test your hormones weren't designed for. Your body evolved for occasional famines and physical threats, not for sitting 8 hours, sleeping 6, scrolling doom at midnight, and eating every 3 hours. Here's where it starts. Eat too often, especially refined carbs, and insulin never gets a break. It's like keeping a warehouse manager on 24-hour shifts. Eventually, your cells stop listening. They're like, dude, we're full, stop knocking. That's insulin resistance. Now, insulin has to scream louder, meaning higher levels, meaning more aggressive fat storage. Even when you're eating the same calories, more of it gets shoved into storage. More fat cells means more leptin. Should mean I'm full, stop eating, right? Wrong. When leptin stays chronically high, your brain tunes it out like a smoke alarm that won't stop beeping. That's leptin resistance. Now you can eat a full meal and still feel hungry an hour later. Your hunger gauge is broken, but your brain doesn't know it. Add stress and cortisol floods in. It tells your body, emergency mode, store belly fat. Because belly fat is quick access energy for survival situations. Except your emergency is a work email, not a bear. But your hormones can't tell the difference. High cortisol also jacks up blood sugar, which calls insulin back for another shift, which stores more fat. It's a loop. Your thyroid's watching all this chaos and goes, okay, we're clearly in survival mode. Better conserve energy. So it dials down your metabolism by 10 to 15%. Now you're burning fewer calories at rest. You're tired, cold, sluggish. Your body's literally powering down to protect itself. And ghrelin? Poor sleep, chronic stress, and blood sugar crashes turn it into a constant alarm. You're always hungry because your body thinks you're always starving. Here's the cruel part. Each broken hormone makes the others worse. Insulin resistance leads to more cortisol, leads to worse sleep, leads to more ghrelin, leads to more eating, leads to more insulin resistance. It's not one problem. It's a domino effect where each piece knocks down the next. But here's where it gets interesting. Even though it feels like your body's betrayed you, it's actually trying to save you. It just doesn't know. The threats aren't real anymore. And this breakdown happens in stages, which means you can catch it early or understand exactly where you are right now. In the beginning, the early warning phase, you're still losing weight but slower than expected. You hit plateaus that don't make sense. You're hungry an hour after eating. Sleep's okay, but you wake up tired. Your body's still responding to diet and exercise, just not as well as it used to. This is where most people are. Insulin's starting to lose sensitivity. Your cells are like, again? We just stored energy. Leptin's sending signals, but your brain's starting to filter them out. Cortisol's elevated occasionally. Your thyroid's still normal, but starting to notice the chaos. Weight loss requires more effort than it used to. Cravings spike in the afternoon. Energy dips around 2 or 3 p.m. It's slightly harder to fall asleep. Small things, but they're adding up. Fast forward 6 to 12 months of chronic stress and inconsistent habits, and you hit the resistance phase. This is where progress completely stops. You're doing the same things that used to work, but nothing moves. You're hungry most of the time. Sleep quality's dropped. You need coffee just to function. Your body's actively resisting your efforts now. Insulin resistance is established. Your cells have deadbolted the doors. Leptin resistance means your brain thinks you're starving, even with extra body fat sitting right there. Cortisol's elevated consistently. Belly fat's increasing. Your thyroid's compensating by slowing metabolism about 10 to 15%. Your body's switched from normal mode to siege mode. It thinks food is scarce and threats are everywhere, so it's hoarding every calorie like a doomsday prepper. Zero weight loss despite perfect eating, constant hunger even after meals, brain fog, especially in the morning, cold hands and feet, belly fat increasing despite an overall calorie deficit, waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. like clockwork. Push through another year or two without fixing the signals, and you reach metabolic shutdown. This is damage control territory. You might actually gain weight while eating less. Exercise makes you exhausted for days. You're irritable, anxious, or depressed. Sleep is a disaster. Your body's basically in power-saving mode, and it's not coming out without intervention. Severe insulin resistance now. Your pancreas is working overtime, pre-diabetes territory. Leptin is completely ignored by your brain. Cortisol's chronically high, stealing resources from other hormone production. Your thyroid has significantly downregulated. You're functionally hypothyroid even if tests say normal. Ghrelin's permanently elevated. This is where people think they're broken forever. They eat 1,200 calories and gain weight. They work out 6 days a week and lose nothing. It's not a mystery. It's biology. Your body thinks it's starving, so it's doing exactly what it should. Shutting down non-essential functions and storing every available calorie. Gaining weight on low calories. Crushing fatigue despite rest. Hair thinning. Skin dry. Zero libido. Can't recover from workouts. Mood swings, depression, anxiety. Digestive issues. But there's a fourth stage, the recovery zone. This is where you go once you understand the system. You're not fighting your hormones anymore. You're resetting them. And that's exactly what we're about to do. So if you're in any of those first three stages and wondering how to get to recovery, the answer isn't what you think. It's not about eating less or moving more. Here's the conventional wisdom trap. You've been told calories in, calories out. Eat less, move more. It's simple thermodynamics. And technically, they're not wrong. But they're also completely missing the point. Your hormones determine whether a calorie gets burned or stored. They decide if you're hungry or satisfied. They control your metabolic rate. Trying to lose weight with broken hormones is like trying to drive with the emergency brake on. You can press the gas all you want. You're not going anywhere fast. Every diet you tried worked against your hormones. Extreme calorie restriction tanked your thyroid and spiked cortisol. Too much cardio raised cortisol even more. Constant snacking kept insulin high all day. Cutting fat too low messed with leptin production. Not eating enough protein kept ghrelin screaming. You thought you were failing the diet. Your hormones thought they were saving your life. Here's what changes everything. You're not broken. You're not weak. You don't lack discipline. Your body is working exactly as designed. It's just working with outdated information. It thinks it's 50,000 BC, and food is scarce and threats are real. Your job isn't to override it with willpower. Your job is to update the software. When your hormones work together, weight loss doesn't require suffering, it requires signaling. And the signals are simpler than you think. Signal 1, you're safe, lower cortisol. Signal 2, food is abundant. Reset leptin. Signal 3, we don't need to store everything. Improve insulin sensitivity. Signal 4, we can burn hot. Wake the thyroid back up. This isn't about a diet. It's about a protocol that speaks directly to each hormone. Give insulin a break. Convince cortisol the emergency's over. Let leptin be heard again. Wake your thyroid back up. When you fix the signals, the symptoms fix themselves. Your body isn't a broken car that needs fixing. It's a car getting the wrong directions. Give it the right map, and it drives itself exactly where you want to go. So what does that protocol actually look like? Let's break it down into rules so simple you can start today. First thing, give insulin a vacation. Stop eating constantly. Your body needs 12 to 16 hours with insulin low to reset sensitivity. Doesn't mean starve. Means condense your eating into an 8 to 10 hour window. Last bite by 7 p.m., first bite after 10 a.m. No snacks between meals. Water, black coffee, and tea are fine during the fasting window. When insulin drops, your cells finally listen again. Fat burning switches on. It's like giving an overworked employee a day off, so they actually want to come back. When you do eat, protein comes first. Always. Every meal starts with 30 to 40 grams. Not carbs, not fat. Protein. Eggs, meat, fish, Greek yogurt before anything else. Then add vegetables and healthy fats. Carbs last if you're still hungry. Protein keeps insulin steady, satisfies leptin, shuts down ghrelin. You stay full for hours without relying on willpower. Your hormones finally say, we're good, and sleep isn't optional anymore. 7 to 8 hours minimum. Your hormones reset at night. Skip sleep and everything breaks. Same bedtime every night. Phone away by 9 p.m. Room dark and cool. No food 3 hours before bed. One night of bad sleep tanks leptin, spikes ghrelin, raises cortisol. It's like hitting undo on all your progress. Move your body, but not just for calories. Lift weights 2 to 3 times per week. Walk daily, at least 8,000 steps. Muscle tissue is hormonally active. It tells your body we need to burn, not store. 20 to 30 minutes of resistance training. Less cardio, more strength. Muscle improves insulin sensitivity, increases thyroid output, lowers cortisol. You're building a bigger engine that burns hotter. Last thing, and this matters more than you think, stress management isn't optional. High cortisol overrides everything else. 5-minute breathing exercises daily. 1 walk in nature per week. Say no to non-essential stress. Eat enough because extreme restriction is a stress signal itself. When cortisol drops, your body finally believes the emergency's over. It stops hoarding fat and starts spending it. These 5 things do one job. They tell your hormones you're safe, food is available, and it's time to burn, not store. Do them consistently, and your hormones line back up. Once they do, weight loss stops being a war. It becomes effortless. So here's what just changed. You walked in thinking you were broken. Now you know your hormones were just following survival programming from 50,000 years ago. They were protecting you. They just didn't know from what. You're not stuck forever. You're stuck in a pattern. Break the pattern, and the hormones fall back in line. Insulin learns to relax. Leptin gets heard. Cortisol stops panicking. Your thyroid cranks the heat back up. Fat burning stops being a fight and starts being automatic. You didn't just learn some tips. You unlocked the control panel. You know which signals your body's listening for. Now you can speak its language. The scale wasn't ignoring your effort. Your hormones were. But hormones don't need willpower. They need signals. And now you know exactly which ones to send. Your body isn't your enemy. It never was. It's just been getting the wrong instructions. Give it the right ones, and watch what happens when insulin takes a break, leptin gets loud, cortisol calms down, and your thyroid wakes back up. That's not wishful thinking. That's biology. And biology always wins when you work with it instead of against it.